Good morning, everyone. We are from Grow with Skills. This is Fusion 360 Basics, and I am your instructor, Siddiqui Muhammad Abdul Muqtadir. After the today's session, from tomorrow onwards, we are going to learn about the 3D sketch, 3D sketching, and 3D models. We will going to work on the 3D interface from tomorrow onwards. So today is the last session for the sketching. So after the today's session, you will be able to trim a sketch, fillet, give it a fillet, give it a offset, and you will going to use a mirror command for the symmetric sections. So the first command or the first tool we will going to learn is trim. The trim allows us to cut or remove the excess part or excess line from the sketch. As you want to draw in a if you want to draw a 3D part or a 3D sketch, so you have to use the trim option to in many times to cut the excessive lines which you have drawn in the to draw a particular sketch. I'm going to show you where the where this trim is going to be used. Wait, let me show you. I'm going to draw this. As you can see, this is a mobile phone, and there is a curve on its edges. You can draw the curves with the two methods. You can draw this curve with two methods. First method is with the trim. I'm going to show you how to draw it with a trim, and then I will going onwards towards the next way. So I'm disable this, going to create a sketch, selecting a plane, looking at it with a perpendicular direction, or clicking on the look at direction. Okay, so we are going to make a mobile phone 2D sketch. So we are going to take a rectangle first. The mobile phone breadth is of, suppose, 7 mm, and its length would be 150 mm. Okay, so we have given its dimensions and going to press the enter button. Now if you want to give it a curve like this, you can do either in this way, like if the curve is of 4 mm, so you have to select a circle of 8 mm diameter, as the radius would be 4 mm, and you have to select the tangent constraint. First of all, you have to select the profile which you have to move, and then select the another profile which is fixed in your imagination. Then select this side and this side. Give it. I'm going to just grab it here and select this plane, this sketch, and fix it to here. This shows that it is a tangent constraint. Selecting this plane which is going to move and this fixed side, and look, the circle is fixed here. You can see a tangent constraint on the both of its side. You have to make this curve to all of the four sides. So you have to create one more 8 mm diameter circle. Click on the tangent constraint, click on the profile which you want to move, select the another profile to which you have to stick it, select the profile again, and it's fixed now on the from the both of sides. Now you have to do for the for the bottom side. So I'm going to make a 8 mm circle again, clicking on the tangent constraint, first clicking on the profile which we have want to move, and this, and the next one would be the fixed one. It's attached from the horizontal line, and now we have to attach it to the vertical line. We have to constrain it to the vertical line, and for the last curve we have to do the same. Now you can see there is still a corner edge, right? There is still a corner edge and you have to delete it. So how you can delete it? But you cannot select it. You can, if you select this line, it will gonna be select all over the line. So the command and the, or you can say the hack is, you have to go to the tool where the modify, in the modify section, click on the trim button which is here, representing by a scissor, or you can click on the drop down list and select the trim, or you may use a shortcut key which is a T button on your keyboard. So I'm going to press a T button on the keyboard, and look, the trim command is activated. Now what you have to do is to trim this part, this intersection. The trim works on the intersections, okay, only on the intersection. It, you won't gonna cut it on the totals. You won't gonna, if you want to cut it only this section, you have to only click on this section, and the purple line will denote that only this part will going to be cut. I'm going to cut this part also of the circle and this part. Look, the curve is created of 8 mm of 4 mm radius. I'm going to select this line also. I'm going to cut this trim line. I'm going to trim this line also and this arc of the circle. This arc of the circle, one line second. The arc of the circle, first line and second line. So we have made a curve like we have seen in the mobile, like we have seen in this photo in the mobile phone. So this was the trim command. You can create, you can do a trim also when, if you want to cut this half section with this half section. So you just have to draw a line and press the T button on the keyboard, and this, and trim this part, this part, this part, this curves. And if you want, this is the excess line and you have to cut it for finish. And look, we have created a half part of the section. You can cut it with a vertical also, in a vertical manner, pressing the T button on the keyboard. The command is activated and we can delete this excess parts. I'm going to recall it, undo it. So this was the one method to draw a curve on a surface. And the next is fillet. Next tool is fillet. The fillet tool allows us to draw an arc at the corner of the two lines which is perpendicular to each other. The fillet is given for reducing the stress in component and also for the aesthetic look, as the stress on the corner edges is more, so you have to give it fillet so the stress is reduced from in the component, or you may use it for the aesthetic look as well. So this is the first method, and the second method I am going to use is fillet. So drawing the same rectangle, first the 150 mm length, pressing the tab button on the keyboard to switch to the breadth side and putting it 70 mm in the input box. All you have to do is to select a fillet tool which is in modify section, and there is no shortcut key to select the fillet, so you have to go to all over the toolbox and select it. It is on the display as well, and in the drop down list too. You have to click on the fillet. If you want to select, there is a two way for giving a fillet. First you have to select the two lines which you want to give a curve, or you may select its point of interaction or intersection like this, so it will give a fillet. You can give the fillet for all of the four curves at a time by pressing the control button on the keyboard, selecting the point of the next edge, and then selecting all of these points of the edges, and look, the curve is given or the fillet is given, and you can see it is similar to this, both of them. And you have to put the radius here, so I am going to put the radius 4 mm. So these both of the diagrams are same. As you can see, there is also a tangent which we have previously drawn. There is a tangent constraint we have provided, and you can see here also there is a tangent constraint, and there is a equal constraint also, because of there are four curves in the diagram. So these are the two ways of drawing the curves. So I would prefer you to draw with the fillet. The trim is to just show you how to cut this over excess or the over part of the sketching. So the next command is offset. The offset tool copies the sketch profile and line at a specified distance from the original sketch. As you can see this, there is an internal curve also. There is an internal display of the mobile phone. If you want to draw it as the same, you can draw it, or you can use this shortcut. The tool name is offset, to draw the same design but in the inner part of the outer body. I'm going to show you in this. Like, if you want to draw the same profile but in a smaller manner, or into this profile itself, so you have to click on this offset button, or you can press the O button on the keyboard to get the shortcut. You can find this offset in the drop down list also. I'm going to just press an O button, and it is asking you to select a sketch curve. I'm going to select this sketch curve, and it is asking for the offset position. The offset position is the distance between the original body and the duplicate body. So I'm going to assume it's 3 or 2 mm, 2 mm, 2 mm, and clicking enter. Look, both of the duplicate of the sketch is drawn, and you can grab it, so you can be satisfied. If you are not satisfied with the value, you can grab it and pull it until and unless you get the desired value. So I'm going to put the 5. No, I'm going to run with the 2 mm only. So you can see, as there is also curves, the same curves, and the section is drawn with its duplicate, and the time is saved by you. The next command, as you can see in this diagram, there is a tailstock and a heat sink. You can see the tailstock side view. Here is its side view, and the tailstock side view, the tailstock is symmetric to its y-axis. So if you want to draw a tailstock in the Fusion 360, so you have to first draw its circle, the another in an internal circle, the rims, the diameter, the inner diameter, the bush outer diameter, bush inner diameter, the pin inner diameter. So you have to draw it, and it's a quite of complicated even in drawing on the sketch. So all you have to do, so as you can see, it is symmetric to y-axis. You only have to draw the half part, and you can create this portion by copying this heat sink. So you have to draw a multiple fins. You have to draw a multiple fins of the heat sink. So to consume a less time and draw all of the fins, you want a command to make the same profile as you want. So the command for this is, so the command to draw this symmetric profiles is mirror command. The mirror tool is used to create a duplicate of a sketch profile by keeping a line as a reference. Okay, there are two types of mirror commands. The one is for 2D sketch and the another one is for 3D model. I have shown you the master rod of the radial engine. There was a 3D mirror command used, and I am going to show you the 2D sketch mirror command. The mirror command is the mirror tool. The mirror tool is used to create a duplicate of a sketch profile by keeping a reference as a line. So I'm going to show you this heat sink I have drawn. So first of all, I have drawn a half profile of the heat sink, as you can see here, and I have done a mirror command from, and this is the mirror of this profile and this is the original profile. I'm going to show you how I have drawn it. First I have to clear this. Okay, so how I have drawn is selecting the line, taking the line, drawing a line and drawing a curve of 5 mm, and again drawing the same line with a less distance from the original line, holding the line, holding the left click and drawing a curve, again drawing a line, holding the click, left click, so I can draw a curve. And you have to do this for a limit, for the the purpose of this mirror command is it will going to take about only half of the time to draw the whole diagram, where if you want to go to draw a whole diagram, it will take double time with if you won't gonna use the mirror command. I am going to stop here. I'm going to give a 2.5 half radius, a 5 half radius. I'm going to use a now I'm going to use a line to give it a reference. So I'm going to select this middle part of the curve and going to straight up and taking a reference of this line, click and drawing a curve, drawing a straight line. I'm going to delete this part by trim, pressing the T button on the keyboard or by clicking on the trim tool, removing it. As you can see, I have drawn a half part and I want a mirror of this. So I am going to click on the click on the create section and going to select a mirror command, and it is asking you to select the object. So you can select a object one by one or by dragging the left click, and do remember that don't select this line or don't select the line from which you have to make the mirror. Okay, you just want to select all of the profile, but you don't have to select the line from which you have to make the mirror. I have left this line only from which I am going to select for the mirror reference, and I have selected all of the profile. Now I am going to select the mirror line by clicking here and selecting the mirror. Look, the diagram or the profile is completely mirrored, and I'm going to click OK. So it's showing here the symmetry constraint. These are the symmetric constraint. After you have done the mirror command, you have used the mirror command. So as you can see, this diagram, this profile is different from this profile as there is a line between them. So it's not a one component or it's not a one profile. So you have to delete this line. So you can use the trim command and it's deleted. So as you can see, it's a one component or it's a one profile. So you can extrude it or you can put it in the 3D sketch, 3D interface. As you can see that the diagram is highlighted with the blue color. So you can extrude it in the 3D sketch. If the diagram is not in the bluely highlighted, so it's not in the loop and you can't call it in the 3D interface. I'm going to just show you how I have I have called it in the 3D sketch, extruding it by pressing the E button, and I can give the 150 mm length, and a heat sink is created, and there is no marks of the mirror or there is no symbols that shows you have mirrored it. Pressing the home button,